It's Monday, July 21st. How you doing? VC world, everyone, friends, family. Be nice if we could all call ourselves friends, wouldn't it? Um, Probably just a recap of the weekend, and no new records to show you. So I think the main music thing that I can share was July 20th. Yesterday was Carlos Santana's birthday, and I dug into my closet to pull out what I have by Santana. I do highly respect Carlos Santana, and I'm happy for him that he had that commercial breakthrough with Smooth. He deserved to make that money, and the music he's making now, which is very populist, good for the man. He laid down some major history, opened some doors for Mexican people, Hispanic music, He wasn't the first, but Santana was pretty important. And I'm showing Caravanserai. This is one of my favorite old Santana albums. This is when I got to see him, was on this tour. And of all people, opening the concert was Bobby Womack. What a show. This is very unforgettable because this was in the heavy spiritual period of Carlos Santana. And before they played, he came out and put candles all over the stage, and he prayed for like easily 15 minutes before he played a note. It was heavy. I think that's pretty bold. I don't have all the major Santana albums. I just have some Santana albums, like this one I have. Which one is this? Inner Secrets. I have Inner Secrets. I had to go into my closet and wrestle with a bunch of boxes to get the Santana records so I could show them. But I wanted to. It's like Santana is important to me. He is. Here's The Swing of Delight. And his albums are almost always a mixture of the commercial with good music. You know what I mean? Music for just regular music. Welcome. That's what I considered. What regular people music. Santana's always been good at making just good old people music. And then I had out. I was playing yesterday. I started it all off by playing this. The album Santana 3. I have Santana Abraxas, but I have an old copy without a cover. Oneness. This is a good album. Debadip's Oneness, back when he's on that spiritual trip. Another good album is Moonflower. Some live stuff in here is really good. Double album. A lot of times you find these records for nothing. And Santana is good. And this one is just a fantastic album. This one is phenomenal. Carlos Santana and Mahavishnu John McLaughlin, Love, Devotion, and Surrender. This, they do John Coltrane on here, McLaughlin. This is fantastic. So I was getting off on some Santana yesterday. Also in the box, some old favorites, so I pulled this and played this. West, Bruce, and Lang, Whatever Turns You On. What Leslie West, as a guitarist, was an early, more so than Eric Clapton. Leslie West really sparked my my imagination, and really stoked my interest in lead guitar. Leslie West is a monster. In this box, out of the closet, I'll show some more records that I'm out of room for. Here's one I'm out of room for, but it's staying out. Fairport Convention, Angel Delight. Haven't listened to this in a while. Let's see, this is on Island. Which version of Island? This Island. I actually love this version of English folk rock. Fairport Convention, really excellent. Here's the box that has my Led Zeppelin albums. Presence. And again, no diss on Led Zeppelin, but the reason why I don't talk about them is because they don't need me to talk about them. Everybody and their distant cousin knows about Led Zeppelin. You know, that's where some of the resentment has come from towards bands like this, Led Zeppelin and the Rolling Stones, because it's like, if that's all you've heard, you haven't heard anything. Houses, was it Physical Graffiti? Yeah, I got these records. Yeah, I think they're good. I think I have a lot of records that are a lot better, though. I just honestly really do. A lot of the records that I show you, that I rave about, I think they're all better than this. I think that it does it does reach into my thoughts regarding society and information that we're unsure of, like the connection to Aleister Crowley and whether or not this music is indeed somehow associated with satanic ritual. I don't know, but it seems, the more that I look at it, it seems more likely that it is, you know. Houses of the Holy, and that has something with the music's phenomenal staying power. Not that the music is that good, but that there's some sort of something associated with it that keeps it. Here, I got it. I have these records, so like I say, I can say with authority, I know what this music is. I do like it. I just know that this is not, in my opinion, the best band that there ever was. Of course, I'd get into a fist fight with a lot of people about that, but I know from my perspective as a music lover and an objective listener, Led Zeppelin isn't even close to being one of the best bands to ever exist. Not even close. It's my opinion, and I'm entitled to my opinion. Just like you folks that don't agree with me are entitled to yours. But I think we need to hear somebody like me to just say it, you know. Not to go against the grain but because it's what I really think. Led Zeppelin is good. Not that good. Have they been that influential? Yeah, I give them that. Have they touched the world? Yeah. Did they change the world? Yeah. Did they set a template for a lot of bands? Yeah, I'll give it to them. So does that mean that they're one of the best bands? Technically, no. That's just my point. That's my point, and I stick to it. Cream. I mean, my box. You know, my box is for where I'm out of room. I mean, my house is stacked to the roof with records. This is a fantastic album, and I love this cover. It's, you know, fantastic psychedelia. Heavy Cream. These records are all beat because this one goes back to my teen years. I've had this since I was a teen. Beat to Hell. Goodbye Cream. What's my favorite song on here? Badge. Yeah. With George Harrison on it. Yeah, I do love roots, and I do know my roots. I do. And then I'll pull a few more here from this box. Early on, I saw Uriah Heep twice live in the 70s. They were mind-blowingly good. So I have Magician's Birthday. Don't play these records much, but I have them. What else do I have? Well, I'll just keep going. I just pulled Quicksilver Messenger Service. Another guitarist that was influential on me because of his vibrato was John Cipollina of Quicksilver Messenger Service. I could always tell it was him. It was so quick and strong that, you know, that it just really caught my ear. It was a youthful vibrato as opposed to like B.B. King's, which is full of a lot of life, you know, and it's good. But the Cipollina, when I was a kid, it had that youthful mania about the tremolo. Quicksilver, Just for Love. This is a good album. Happy Trails. Happy Trails. Quicksilver. Is an anthology. And then some more Mountain. I love Mountain. Like I said, Leslie West, badass guitar player. Best of Mountain. I got to see West Bruce and Lang live. That's when I got to see Jack Bruce and Leslie West play. They didn't disappoint me. They were thunderous. And Corky Lang on drums. The whole band was on point. And Joe Walsh's Barnstormer, or Barnstorm, opened the show. Rocky Mountain Way. Before it was a hit, I got to see him play it live. Joe Walsh was tore up that night too, you know. Even as a kid, I could see he played well, but he was so damn stoned. What was the hook? Of course, I've done it myself, so I can't criticize him. But that was one early on, stoned to the bone. Thankfully, he made it through the show. Mountain Live, love this band. Twin Peaks, and the artwork. Gail Collins, Felix Pappalardi's wife. She murdered Felix. I guess Felix was probably a dog. It's unfortunate that you have to be a dog to make it in business, but you really do have to be kind of an ass. Avalanche by Mountain. And then this one, I worn this out. I've had a couple copies of this. Flowers of Evil. Fantastic album. This album is monster. This is not a well-recorded live album. Well, they actually had to cut it quiet because it's so long. But Dream Sequence on side 2 of this is one of the best live recordings of rock music, in my opinion. For me, it's done that. It's inspired me that much. Seriously, for me. Nantucket Sleigh Ride. Again, this is my second copy. I don't have the booklet anymore. When I bought this as a kid. Didn't realize what the booklet meant. Probably threw it away. And then their first album, Climbing. And then this is a very notorious bootleg of Leslie West's solo album, Mountain. It's definitely a bootleg because the cutout hole there is printed. So this is and it's a poorly pressed one too. So if I could find an original of this, not like I need it, but it'd be neat just to find an original because it's been bootlegged so much, like David Bowie's Man Who Sold the World. Lastly, here's some more Fairport Convention. Full House. 9. A Movable Feast. Rising for the Moon. Love folk music, I do. And this one especially, Baba Come Lee. Love this album by Fairport Convention. I think I'll just leave it there by showing you some records and then just sharing. Yesterday I had a really nice day with my extended family. As I tell you, this is a bit of a dear diary for me and social commentary. I've shared this recently. I basically reconnected with the people that I helped to raise for a while. They call me uncle now, but for a while David and Sarah called me dad. And we had a cookout yesterday with the family. Sarah didn't make it, unfortunately, but David, his mom, and her husband, Aaron, and some friends of theirs came. I had not met the friends before, and it turned out to be a really good time. One of their friends is a teacher and a really nice lady. She was was great talking to her. She was, to me, typical of an American that does what I call, they bought the farm. In other words, they don't know any different than what mainstream America and their parents taught them. So, quite naive, I'm not criticizing, I'm just sharing this because we had some great conversations, and I was really happy to find out that my boy David, I still call him my boy, I'd call him my son, but he has to call me uncle around his mom and his legal dad now. But my boy David was really impressing me yesterday because he's kind of thuggish, he's a tough kid, he is, but he's smart, and I always knew that about David. That's why I liked him as a little boy. He was like, man, this kid is, there's just something innately smart about him. And he was engaging in the conversation with me and this woman very intelligently, talking about things that he's learned through experience, about the system, because she was talking really idealistically, which I like, about how do we fix it? How do I save the kids? I want to just take them all home. And I said, I understand that, but that's not going to do them any good. And you know, she's still the sort of person that actually doesn't know how corrupt the government is, and actually thinks that you can go to the government for solutions. And I myself and my boy David were just telling her from experience that we know from experience that the government doesn't give a shit, especially about colored people of any color. So it was just really interesting, and also it was a good. I'm struggling. And what is it I want to say about it? I was proud of my boy David, that his eyes are open and he's paying attention to information and he sees what's happened. He's also been jerked around by the system quite a bit. When they get a hold of your behind when you're a teenager, if you've had any juvenile trouble, the first thing they do is put you in psych and slap a bunch of diagnoses on you, whether they fit or not. And for a time, David had 14 different diagnoses. All bullshit, And I talked to this lady about, she was saying, "Boy, it sure would be nice if I could have you come as a guest, into my classroom every now and then, as an artist or something, to share, something with the kids, And I said I'd be happy to do that. But I told her, I've done my thing, and it's like, when the rot is from the inside the home, there's not too much you can do. When people are disconnected from a sense of future, empowerment, or even have the idea that society belongs to them, which a lot of inner city people don't have, especially here in Omaha. A lot of inner city people, notice I'm not saying black now, I'm saying inner city people, do not have a sense that this city is theirs, and that's a hard thing to it's a hard bridge to cross, but it was a good conversation to have, because conventional thinking about society doesn't work. Society is the problem. Society is so corrupt. Last thing I want to say is this war action over in the Middle East is just horrid. All of our children, our brothers and sisters, being bombed and blown up. Both sides, the Israeli and the Palestinians. They're our brothers and sisters. This is just insane. It's just wrong. And the United States are just low down. This country that I live in is less than honorable when it comes to the Middle East. The United States is wrong. The United States is fucking up big time. They have the nerve to try to justify it. It's just wrong. We don't need war, people. We can do better. I know that that's a very idealistic thing, but it's also true. It takes a lot of work, but it can be done. We don't have to war. We don't.